Well, wasn't that a surprise? Forgot to click on the intro. Well, hello, everybody. Did you ever hear it's not easy being me? Well, I got a good story to explain that. You guys will just think I'm totally nuts, even more nuts than you already think I am. I mean, you're already questioning my sanity with cutting as much firewood as I cut. But you'll definitely question it after I tell you this story. This evening we'll be jamming at the Highland Christian Church in Rolla, Missouri, and that starts around 6:30. If you're in the area and you're trying to find it, you just basically take 10th Street out of Rolla toward St. James, and you just follow it just about the time you leave town. You follow it about another 2 miles, roughly, approximately, and it's on the right. It's at the intersection of another blacktop road, so it's right on the corner there. You can't miss it. Highland, I think it's called the Highland Christian Church. I know Highland is definitely in the name. Anyway, that'll start around 6:30. It should be a good jam. I think everybody's anxious to jam because all the jams have been canceled because of the weather. And speaking of the weather, this is kind of leads me into my story. It got really cold last night. I mean, like way colder than I thought it was going to. I didn't look it up. Like I told you, I don't watch the weather. I really just don't. But I just figured, I thought I had enough wood to get me through till this morning. I really did. I mean, I had the stove full at about, 5:30, 6 o'clock last night before we did our play along. So I had the stove filled up, completely full, and I had enough there, another quarter's worth of wood. In other words, it would fill the stove up about another quarter of the way. So I had enough to get through for this morning, just to get enough until I go out and cut more wood. Well, somehow or another, I guess God watches over fools, I guess. He woke me up about 1 o'clock, and I don't know, I just thought, I probably ought to go check on the furnace. So I walk out there at 1 o'clock, and it's completely burned out. Now, the temperature's still up. The water temperature is still like almost 150, like 148, 149, something like that. So it's warm enough. It's to warm the house. That's not a problem. But you don't want to let the fire go out, and it was just coals is all it was left in there. And I thought, man, I can't believe it burnt that much. But when I woke up at 1, I saw the temperature, and it had dropped down to 10 degrees. And, in case you don't know, that's 22 degrees below freezing. Oh, my gosh. I mean, this, I'm gonna really make the extremists happy here when I say that this global warming is freezing me to death. It really is. And just for the record, I don't have a problem with the understanding of global warming. I mean, the same scientists that say we're into global warming now are the same scientists that have said that Earth has done this at least dozens of times, if not hundreds of times, and possibly even thousands of times over the eons, that it's definitely done this global warming thing many times and then gone into an ice age. It's done that. Those cycles have happened hundreds of times. So the only thing that I question about the global warming this time is now we're blaming it all on humans. Now, having said that, I'm not saying that we don't have an impact on it. I'm not saying that we haven't affected it to some degree. All I'm saying is I can't blame it all on human activity. I mean, considering that it's done it hundreds of times in the past, I would say that the humans have probably had a little effect on it, no doubt about that. I'm not an extremist one way or the other. You just got to use some common sense and think about all the things and draw a conclusion, So in other words, I don't just say, it's all cause of humans. Yeah, maybe. They don't know what caused it in the past, so how do they know what's causing it now, Anyway, I just say these things just to get everybody all fired up, especially the extremists, the ones that can only see one side of the issue. Well, I can see all sides of the issue, and I think I see all sides of almost all issues. I mean, you got to have an open mind. Well, anyway, so back to the story about this global warming freezing me to death. At 1 a.m. this morning, I saw it was 10 degrees, furnace is out of wood. I throw in my little bitty pittance of wood that I have left, which isn't going to last very long. It's only going to last an hour or two at the most. So what do? At 1:15 in the morning, I fired up the chainsaw. Try that in your neighborhood. See how that works. Fire up the chainsaw, 1:15 in the morning. But fortunately, I had a lot of slab wood laying there by the sawmill, so I just sawed up all of that. And I also had 3 barrels of scrap wood, and these are just little bitty scrap wood, stuff, just cut-offs and things that, like in the shop, whenever I cut off stuff, instead of throwing it completely away, like in the trash or, anything, I just throw them in a barrel. And then, I take it up there and throw it in the wood furnace, over, little scraps. So I cut up all of the slab wood I had at 1:15 in the morning with the chainsaw. And then I took one barrel of all that and threw it in there and put the whole barrel's worth in the stove. And that filled the stove completely full. So that made it last till this morning. And I went out about 9 o'clock this morning. And then I cut 2 more big loads of firewood. I only hauled one of those in, so here's the continuation of the story. You got to realize it was really cold out there working, and I've got this it's a really heavy-duty insulated sweatshirt. I got that on, and I am sweating into that shirt. I mean, I know that sweatshirt is wet at this point, because I'm really working hard, and I worked for about probably an hour and a half straight with the 2 chainsaws, just sawing wood, just didn't stop, nonstop, didn't even stop for 2 seconds, literally, just sawing wood the whole time. So I've got a whole bunch of wood cut, about, I would say, 2 big trailer loads, it maybe even 3, but 2 for sure. So then after I get all that cut, I go ahead and load up one trailer, because I took the tractor down there with the trailer when I went. So I filled this heaping trailer load. I mean, it's heaped up, mounted high, and it's really heavy. And I've got the 4-wheel drive John Deere. So I'm taking on, and we're on the county road now. This is the main county road, because I'm down there on JR's corner cutting that same wood again, which is the wood that doesn't burn very good, by the way. But anyway, I'm cutting that, and so I get the thing full, and I pull out on the county road, and I go over the railroad track, and then as soon as you go over the railroad track, there's a little dip, and then there's a curve and a steep hill. And this steep hill and this curve, and then after it flattens off, all of that is in the shade. So all of that is solid ice. That hill, everything. So I know it's ice, and I've got the 4-wheel drive tractor, and I'm thinking I'll make it, and I should have put it in high gear 4-wheel drive and really hit it fast. Well, I didn't. I had it in about 3rd gear, which there was one more gear higher, and I hit it as fast as I could in 3rd gear, and I made it about 2/3 of the way up the hill with that giant heavy load on behind it. That heavy load, by the way, with the trailer and everything, I'm sure outweighed the tractor probably close to twice as much as the tractor weighed. For sure more than the tractor weighed anyway. And so we get about 2/3 of the way up and it says, nope, ain't going no further. So now, if you've ever tried to back up a heavy load with a tractor on ice, yeah, good luck with that. Good luck with that. Yeah, and so it jackknifes across the ice. Fortunately, it wasn't any big deal. I mean, it wasn't like life-threatening or anything. It wasn't scary or anything, but it did jackknife across the road. Now I've got the road completely blocked. And I'm, keep in mind, I'm now only about a fourth of the way up the hill. So there's 3/4 of the hill still in front of me. I can't go forwards. I can't go backwards. I can't do anything. And so that now I'm a mile from the house. Now I have to walk all the way back to the house. Keep in mind, I'm totally soaked wet from sweat, and the wind's blowing, and it's, 15 degrees out there, and the wind's blowing. Well, by the time I get home, I mean, the air's gone through that. It's getting pretty chilly by that point. Well, I meet Isaac, and Isaac volunteers to help me. So I gather up every single log chain I could find on my property. I didn't go to JR's property, but just on my property, I gathered up all of them that I could find. I had probably about 8 log chains. 3 of them were at least 20 feet long. Most of them were in the 10-foot range, probably. And so anyway, I knew I was going to need all of them for the length, and I had Isaac back up his 4-wheel drive farm truck, and he backed it up to where we thought it was safe to back up to so that he could still get traction, And then we stretched out every single chain we had, and guess what? We had exactly the right amount of chain. In fact, we had extra 2 feet. We could have been 2 feet further down the hill, and we still could have worked. We had 2 feet to spare. And so anyway, he pulled me out. He did a real good job. Isaac pulled me up the hill, and it worked. But I mean, it's just, did you ever hear it's not easy being me? I don't know. I don't know. I can't explain it. I don't, I'm not trying to justify it. Just think of me as totally, I've just lost all my marbles. Just think of it that way, and then you'll be fine with it. So anyway, I left the second trailer load down there. I wasn't about to try to go get it right now with all the ice on the road. So I figure I can at least go down. If I need more, and of course I will, I can always take the Ranger down there, the 4-wheel drive Ranger, and I'm 99% sure I can drive up that hill with the Ranger with the 4-wheel drive. I don't think that'll be a problem. That thing goes pretty much anywhere. So there you go. That's my story. Just so you remember, or if you haven't heard yet, I'll be attending Wilda Spencer's funeral on Monday. Wilda Spencer is Beverly's mother, and anyway, that's going to, be in place. I'll be there, and I won't be able to do a vlog on Monday, so there will be no vlog on Monday, just to make it official. I think that's everything I was going to discuss and talk about today. Just 1 o'clock, 1:15 in the morning. I'm pretty sure that's the first time I've ever, well, probably isn't, but it's the first time that I can remember, at least, that I've gone out at 1 o'clock in the morning and used a chainsaw. Let's see, David Tharp. Howdy, everybody. Good play along last night, Jerry. You said to put that modulating song in a key that matches your voice. I'd have to play it in the key of R. I don't know how to do that. Okay. Let's see. Dottie Hildebrandt, praying for all. Thank you, Dottie. Appreciate it. And moving on down. David Tharp, Valentine's Day. Whoops. Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess it is Valentine's Day. Well, I already gave Sue her Valentine's Day present. I cut wood to keep her warm. That's her Valentine's Day present. Oh my gosh. And it was so much more fun when I got to walk that extra mile to get back to the house, and freeze my tail off doing it. Let's see. David Tharp, getting old is tough. This morning I blacked out for 20 minutes before I realized I put my hoodie on backwards. Well, I don't know about you, David, but I can't relate to the getting old thing. Wavy gravy. By the way, in case you care, and you probably don't, I don't know why I thought this, but the other day it just occurred to me, and usually these things, when they occur to me like this, usually somehow or another they seem to come true, or they seem to work out, and this was one of those just spontaneous occurrences, and it just came to me, and it came to me that I'm going to live till I'm 106. I don't know why. It just came to me for that, and so I'm pretty sure I'm good for 36 more years, so I'm going to have to get busy. I got a lot of stuff to do. For what it's worth, I just thought I'd tell you that. I don't know why it came to me like that, but that's where it just came to me that I'm going to live till I'm 106. So I don't guess I got anything to worry about for a while. Gino Hitch. Hello, Jerry and friends. The wife and I really enjoyed the show last night. Deb really likes the bluegrass music, anything new on the shingles, and the Kawasaki. Well, I think I told you that the Kawasaki guy said he was going to send his guys out and pick it up. I'm really tempted on just telling him forget it. I just am. I'm over it. I just soon fix it myself and not worry about it. I don't know. Just crazy. Eric, I ordered a chicken and egg from Amazon. I'll let you know. So in terms of which came first, and you're going to let us know about if you can produce anything, huh? And especially in the egg crisis that we have going on these days. James Copy says he's fixing to sing tonight. Well, so am I. David Tharp, Genesis 6:22 says, the earth also was corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. The word that was translated as violence is the Hebrew word Hamas. Interesting. Yeah, I tell you, the more I hear and see on the stories of what's done with Hamas, all I can say is they don't want me doling out their punishment. That's all I can tell you for sure. I'm one of the most soft-hearted, sentimental kind of people you can imagine. But when it comes to stuff like that, not so much. I'm totally death penalty oriented and just let them have it. James Copy, fixing to sing tonight. Maybe the water is wide. The water is wide, okay. I don't know that one offhand, I don't think. Steve Mays, the correct term for gluten-free, sugarless, vegan brownies is compost. For certain with me, I totally agree with that. Bill Rhodes, Jerry, can you play Ralph Stanley, One Drop of Water? I don't even think I've ever heard that. Or if I have, I don't know of it anyway. Wavy Gravy, it's so cold that I chipped a tooth on my cornflakes this morning. You could do that here, especially if you're eating outside. Bill Rhodes, I just let you know I'm back home, Jerry. Well, great. I'm glad to hear that. Hope everything's going well with you. I guess somebody's talking about me because my nose is itching. I don't know if that's what that means or not, but it's what it felt like. Let's see. Ronald Todd, Jerry, we all know your hero is Greta Thunberg. Ha ha ha. I've heard that name, and in fact, I just heard it recently, and I don't know who that is. So, sorry, I can't laugh along with you because I don't know who she is. Wavy Gravy says Greta is just getting by on her looks. I don't know who she is. She must be one of Trump's people or something? I don't know. I don't know who she is. David Tharp, the biggest joke on mankind is that computers have started asking humans to prove that they are not robots. Sadly, that's true. Wavy Gravy, a robot walks into a bar. The bartender says, "Sorry, but we don't serve robots." The robot replies, "Oh, but someday you will, and sooner than you think." Cup of Cool, it's just not easy being you. It's not easy being cheesy when you're Mr. Rosa. Let me tell you something. People just, some people that would just follow me around would get tired just following me around. There's a lot going on all the time. Ronald Todd, you can mix JR's hackberry with other wood and it'll probably burn okay. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. That's why I keep some of that cedar there and throw that in with it. That seems to be a good combination. It does keep it burning that way. Ben Boyd, great job on Big City last night. I'm the one who requested it. Well, thanks, Ben. Sorry I didn't write down the names on those requests yesterday, and you know me, I'm sure not going to remember it. So you sang and played it almost as good as Merle himself. Well, thank you. I never even wrote those words down. That was such an easy song. You know, there's really only 2 short verses, and then there's the chorus. For the most part, the chorus, if you like Merle, you already knew the chorus. So I already knew the chorus. I just had to learn the verses, and the verses are short, and they're logical too. See, that's another thing about a lot of songs. The more logical the verse is, the more, like, in other words, chronological in terms of telling the story and things like that, then the easier they are to remember. And that one was a very easy one. So I didn't even have to write it down. I just learned it and did it, and it worked out okay this time. Maybe not next time. Let's see. Richard Palit, every day is Valentine's Day for me. Let's see. David Tharp, times have sure changed. Back in my day, there was so much toilet paper and eggs you could throw them at people's houses. When I was a kid, we did that too. Yep. Greta is a climate activist who is best known by screaming, "How dare you!" Okay, Ron, I didn't know who she was. I've heard the name, but I don't know who she is. Yeah, you know, I don't disagree that we're into some sort of a global warming thing. I mean, I think that's fairly obvious. I mean, if you got any common sense at all, it's fairly obvious. What's causing it? I don't know. And can we do anything about it? I doubt it. I mean, the Earth is, the same scientists know that it's happened many, 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 many times. You think we're going to be able to stop that or stop the ice age that may come afterwards? I doubt it. You know, I think some things you just got to kind of roll with, you know. Gino Hitch, could you do that Merle song again? Well, I don't know. Let's see. I got through it once, but I had practiced it just before we went live. Well, about fell down. Let me get the other mic over here for the... I don't know. I like that song. It's a good song. I'll probably do it tonight at the jam. So this will be good practice so that I can do it at the jam. Let's see. And it's close enough for who's singing. It's probably not perfectly in tune, but like I said, it's close enough for who it's for. I'm tired of this dirty old city. Entirely too much work and never enough play. And I'm tired of these dirty old sidewalks. Think I'll walk off my steady job today. Turn me loose, set me free, somewhere in the middle of Montana. Give me all I got coming to me, and keep your retirement and your so-called Social Security. Big city, turn me loose and set me free. And if I could, there'd be some real fancy, instrumental right here, but I can't, so there won't be. Been working every day since I was 20. Haven't got a thing to show for anything I done. And there's folks who've never worked and they've got plenty. I think it's time that guys like me should have some fun. So turn me loose, set me free, somewhere in the middle of Montana. Give me all I got coming to me, and keep your retirement, so-called Social Security. Big city, turn me loose and set me free. Hey, big city, turn me loose and let me be. I think I got all the words right that time. Last night I kind of fumbled on a word or two. See, at least Alzheimer's hasn't set in yet. I may be as wacky as a March hare, but I'm at least the Alzheimer's hasn't set in yet. Other than you may think it has, because I can't remember anybody's names, but that's been that way since I was a little kid. I could never remember people's names. I distinctly remember growing up that way and couldn't remember names. But for the most part, I have a pretty good memory. I can remember most things. Anyway, at least I think I can. My son, JR, he thinks I'm losing it. I don't know. Anyway, let's see. Where were we at here? Okay, after Gino asks for the songs, then Ronald Todd says, check above. I forgot the question mark. Ronald Todd, Greta is climate activist who is best known by screaming, how dare you? Well, I did read that one. Is that the one you're talking about? Okay. Let's see. David Tharp had a thumbs up, everybody. Well, thank you. Yeah, if you would do that, please, I would appreciate it if you click the thumbs up. Even if you didn't like the song, could you just click the thumbs up anyway? I'd appreciate it. Wayne Blitz, good afternoon, Jerry. Hope all is well with everybody. It's a beautiful day in Northeast Ohio. Scott Roberts, now thumbs up and go cut some wood before 1 o'clock a.m. starts becoming a habit. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, can you imagine doing that in your neighborhood? Here it doesn't really make too much difference. There's not anybody around to hear it. Gino Hitch, thank you, Jerry. That was really good. Well, thank you. Let's see. Moving on down. Bill Mumbo. I guess those are applauses there. That's what it looks like. Thank you. And then Scott Roberts. David Tharp, try typing with your fingers instead of your thumbs. Ha, ha, ha. Well, guys, I think I'm going to let that be it today. I'm thinking I might try to put together a short video for this evening to get that out. I've got a choice of at least 2, maybe 3 video clips, short videos that I might be able to get out for this evening. So I'm going to try to do that this afternoon. Then I'm going to go to that jam session, and then unfortunately on Monday I'll be going to that funeral. So again, I'll just remind you, we will not have a vlog on Monday. We will see you on Tuesday. Thank you so much for being here.